Today, my friends, we're going to be going over Queen Walk and Queen Charge. This is going to be your definitive guide in 2020 on how you guys can use the Queen Walk and Queen Charge. Before we actually move on into talking about what a Queen Walk and a Queen Charge is, we want to get you guys the basics, which includes funneling. So in this first section, we're going to talk about the number of healers and also the purpose of the rage spell. So first of all, let's talk about the number of healers. Typically with your Queen Walk or Queen Charge, you're typically bringing around 4 to 5 healers. Now let's talk about those numbers in terms of their healing. Remember that healers have 2 sets of, healing ability. One is going to be just healing troops, and another is going to be healing heroes. Heroes get a little bit more healing than troops do. However, just remember that it is sort of cut in half in terms of what the healer already would heal. So in terms of the effectiveness of healers, every additional healer will have something different. For instance, one healer is going to have a max total of 100% efficiency. So does the second. It will go down, however, as long as it's above 90%, then you are completely fine. So as long as you have 4 healers, which is going to be the maximum amount of healers that you really need to do a Queen Walk, then you're good. The 5th healer doesn't really get as much usage, however, it is a little bit of a nice thing to have when you're doing a Queen Walk or a Queen Charge. As if a Seeking Airmine hits one of your healers, you're going to be down to 3 if you didn't bring it. Then if you have it, and one healer gets taken out, you'll still have 4, you'll be perfectly fine. That's really where you guys have to sort of think about it. So you'll see on the screen all the information, definitely very, very important. All of that being said, this of course is just, going to get you guys into the mindset of, all right, how many healers should I bring? Because it's always going to depend from strategy to strategy. Now, one of the other things that we also have to talk about is the rage spell. The rage spell is a very, very good spell to use, as it basically is going to allow your queen to stay alive. Most of the time, what you're going to be able to use it for is to keep that rage underneath the queen and healers. For one, it will boost the queen and it will boost the queen's damage, her hit speed, all of that. That's all going to be really, really good. But then also, the rage spell on the healers will allow them to heal quicker. And that's what you're looking for when you are using the rage spell at really any town hall level that you can do it from 9+. You guys really need to make sure that you're bringing your rage spell. Free spells are definitely very good as well. They can be used to stop things such as a single inferno, and that's always going to be really important. We'll talk a little bit more about spells that you can use in a Queen Charge in that section, but definitely here we just want to get you guys into the basics of those 2 specific numbers. Now, we're going to move on into the funneling, and we're going to kind of show you guys an example of that from my own attack, just so that then you guys can see what I was doing when I set the funnel for my own Queen Charge. So you see that this is my own attack, and the biggest thing that I really want you guys to sort of get from this is that there is a funnel being set. So one of the biggest things with any Queen Charge or Queen Walk is setting the funnel. So let's, for instance, what I wanted to do in this attack was I wanted to funnel this side out in order for my queen to walk into here and get rid of the town hall. So how do I do that? You could even get rid of that if it was a Queen Walk, but how do I get rid of that? Well, I sent in a loon just to see if there were any Seeking Airmines in these 2 areas, primarily right here and right here. I also wanted to take a look if there were any here as well. So once that happened, I actually sent in my balloon just to take that out. Then what happens is I'll send in my baby dragon right behind in order to sort of clear that out. And that's really all it is. What was really nice was the loon actually, because of the splash damage, it already took 1 shot. And because these structures are sort of close together, it actually took out this building and this building very, very easily. So that allowed me to sort of cut the funnel off right there. And that would have been that would have been enough. So that would have been basically enough for me to get here. So I decided though to keep the queen, sort of still in the base. So I wanted to funnel this side out too by using a king right here and a wizard to take this out. That way he'll move down And I did kind of mess up. I wanted him to go this way, which I think he probably did, but if not, he sort of moved in like this. That's what happened. I didn't really want that to happen, so it was kind of my mistake, but still, I was still able to get that funnel all set up. So usually troops such as wizards or things like Baby Dragon, Electro Dragon, Bowlers, they are all going to be great units for funneling. So you'll see right here, I drop in my King. I don't actually drop in a Wizard, though I should have, but you'll see that I am still trying to control his pathing. He'll work his way down, and then he's going to work his way across instead of going towards this way. You'll see the jump, and he'll take it. But you can see that funnel was easily set, and I'm not the best at a queen charge. Of course, I'm using some hero potions, but you know, I'm not the best at queen charge, and I'm really not the best at attacking. So definitely I try to learn a lot from all of my, all the videos I do, and from every clan I cover. I really try to learn something from it, and I have learned queen charge over time. So definitely this was my sort of rendition of hitting this base design, and mostly just showing you guys the funnel in order to keep our queen to go in the right direction, which was towards that town hall. So we're now going to go into what is a queen walk and what is a queen charge. We're going to show you guys some examples, so let's go ahead and move on to that. Before we actually get into what a queen walk and a queen charge is, I actually want to teach you guys the range. So let's take a look at this first compartment right here. Primarily, you'll see that everything is in this little box. Everything is touching for the most part from, vertically. So you'll see that this is only going to be from the wall. There is only 3 tiles here, 3 tiles here. So she can actually reach all of that. She does have a tile range, I believe, of 5 tiles. So she can hit 5 tiles over the wall. So that means that she is able to see all of this and able to take it out. So you'll see this in action right here. So what we're going to do first is we are going to create a funnel using a bowler. We'll drop in a couple more bowlers just in order to take that out. And then what we'll do is we're going to drop in our queen. We're going to drop in our healers. And what we'll do is that our queen is going to walk, and you'll see that she's going to first take out that first layer, which starts where like the bomb tower is and stuff. Then you'll see that she can reach that, of course, because the wall is a little bit dipped. Now she's going to be able to target onto the wizard tower, which is going to be a little bit further in, but she can still reach that. She can also still reach the cannon that is still a little bit ways away from her, but she can still reach all of that within that own compartment. So if we just rage her up, just quickly go through it, you can see that she is going to be able to easily get through that area. Very, very simple. However, let's also put it in this way. So we're going to take a look at this compartment over here with the king. The main thing here is that she can reach all of this in the first layer, but because there is that wall, she cannot reach anything from the wizard tower to here. Of course, because of these little dips here, she's able to reach these structures. Actually, she's not able to reach, she's not actually able to reach the archer tower, or the, she's not able to reach these. She's not able to reach these air defenses, but she is going to be able to reach the cannon and the elixir drill, or the elixir, collector. But she cannot reach these unless she charges in. And that is the sort of thing. So you'll see right here what I mean. We're going to start our queen right here. We will set our funnel. We'll probably use like a Mecha or something. Tank for a little bit for that bowler. But you'll see that what she's doing is she's just like, she's just walking it, but you'll see that she cannot, once she starts to step up, she cannot reach that expo, so that expo is going to be targeting her, and you'll see that she now has to charge into the base because she cannot reach anything more. So, in order to really understand that, just make sure that you know that she can touch everything here, everything that is, like, about, I can't remember the exact tile ranges, but remember that she can hit over 5 tiles, meaning that she can reach everything that is in something like this, but she cannot reach something that is like this. So what you've got to make sure that you are doing is really taking a look at the base design and seeing, hey, can I use this? Can I use a queen walk on this? Just knowing the ranges is going to be really important. So with that being said, Now let's go ahead and show you guys what a queen charge is and also what a queen walk is. So we are here in the practice mode, and we're just going to show you guys a couple things that we really want to try out and other things. So I want to explain a queen walk and a queen charge. Mainly we're going to talk about the queen walk here first, as this is going to be its own section. So we're going to first talk about this one, and we're going to show you guys. So what is a queen walk? A queen walk is very simple. All it is your queen is walking on the outside of the base design in order to get value from there. So typically what I mean here is, and we're going to show you right here, we're going to use our archer queen that we have. Then what we're going to do is we're going to place her on this compartment right here. So we're going to place her right around this sort of tile. So around here. What we're going to do is we're going to allow her to walk in this direction by funneling this out with the wizard. So if we place the wizard just enough, like right here, he will actually go ahead and target this building here. Then he'll start moving over to the other one. So we'll drop in our queen. Then we're going to drop in our 5 healers. That will allow us to keep our queen alive. And you'll see that now she's going to path down. So what she's getting here is stuff like archer towers, wizard towers. You may already notice that she cannot reach this cannon unless she works her way around. So that's something to sort of think about, as, you know, the queen can only reach so far. She can only reach whatever is in her sight range, which is around here. Anything beyond that line is going to be very hard for her to get. But stuff like wizard towers are still really good. If you can get air defenses like this, then this is even better. But one of the biggest things to also worry about is going to be dealing with the dealing with these air defenses, especially if your queen just continues to walk here. Like you'll see right here, they're now in range. So you've got to make sure that what you're doing is you're using, for instance, like a rage to like take care of that, especially if you're getting low on healers. So definitely that's just one sort of way to do that. Now, I do also want to reiterate that it is going to be fairly difficult for your queen to just walk along the outside and get as much value. Since remember, you only have 3 minutes, and of course there's no timer here, you got to remember that you've got to be very, very quick on what you do with your queen walk. This means that this works really well with miners, where you can funnel out one side and then funnel out the other with the king or something like that. That's really what you're trying to do. So this gives you guys a little bit of a sort of basis, but we want to talk a little bit more, so we're going to move on to some strategies that you guys can use from Town Hall 9 up to Town Hall 13 with the queen walk. So here on the screen, you're going to see the different strategies that you guys can use with the queen walk. Starting at Town Hall 9, I would say one of the strongest queen walk attacks at Town Hall 9 is usually actually going to be the Falcon. Typically, this is a strategy that's kind of strayed away from the meta, especially at higher Town Hall levels. So if you're interested in using something at Town Hall 9, here's a army composition that I like to use when I use Falcon. When I was around Town Hall 9 and I was using Falcon, that's what I used. So primarily, you got to remember that you want to make sure that you're getting as much value as possible from from everything. So this gives you guys a sort of good idea on queen walk at Town Hall 9. And of course, there are some other attacks like, queen walk witches. I think I've seen it. I think it was called Haunted Queen from Cleric Dragoon. Definitely, I'll put that one on the screen as well. So that's still a very, very strong attack as well. Just not as common as a regular witch slap is. But you can still use it. But I would say you're very limited on your choices in terms of Town Hall 9 and queen walk attacks, as most of the time you actually want a queen charge, but you do typically want a queen walk. So of course this is a really, really strong way of still 3-starring, but anything above Town Hall 10, I'm going to say this, there is nothing stronger than miners right now. This is really the only queen walk attack strategy that you can use right now in the meta. I would say that queen walk mass miner from Town Hall 10 to Town Hall 11 is really strong. So you'll see that, of course, there's a lot of queen charge miners here on the screen from 10 to 13, but they're all going to be a little bit different in terms of the number, the level, the spells that you bring. That's always going to be different. So this gives you guys a sort of idea of what you guys should be, what you guys would like to see. And this is really, something that's very, very important to sort of learn. Now, one of the other things that we want to go over is going to be the queen charge. Now, we are going to showcase some strategies. We're just going to show them to you guys, but I also want to make sure that we are taking a look at a queen charge and exactly what that is. So we're back here in the practice mode, and what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing a queen charge. So what is a queen charge? So let's say, for instance, we are doing a Lalo attack. We want to get the enemy CC. Of course, there won't be an enemy CC here, but we're going to try and get an air defense, air sweepers. We're going to try and get this area. So this is what we're trying to charge into. So here's what we're going to do. So in terms of a queen charge, you've got to make sure that you're creating your funnels. So we're going to use a bowler bounce here. This is a great way to set your funnel. I would love to really make a funneling guide for you guys to hopefully teach you guys stuff like this, because it's really important that you guys know how to bowler bounce. So you'll see both of these, actually the lab will go down, and that's really a perfect bowler bounce there. So you'll see we're creating the funnel, then we're going to use our queen, and we are going to walk her into the base. So we are looking to get the enemy queen here. So we're going to set the other side of the funnel there. Then we're going to rage up our queen, and we're going to use 2 wall breakers since we know that there are no small bombs. So now, as you see, as we're going into the base, we want to make sure that we are keeping our queen alive. So underneath that rage to deal with the enemy queen, very, very simple. Now we'll be able to step up and we'll be able to take out all the other value that we want to. We can rage her up again, and that's really what a perfect queen charge is. Of course, your attacks are never always going to be perfect, but still gives you guys a little bit of that sort of understanding. Now, there are a couple ways of breaking your queen in. For one, you can use spells, or you can actually use the wall wrecker like you see right here. So let's say, for instance, we were walking our queen this way. We could break into the base and have that wall wrecker actually tank for us. So there's a couple different options there that you can do realistically with this type of attack. But with that being said, it's a very, very simple way of really teaching you guys how to use a queen charge a little bit more effectively. So now we're going to get into the strategies that you guys can use with a queen charge from Town Hall 9 up to Town Hall 13. So the first strategy that you guys can actually use at Town Hall 9 with a queen charge is going to be a queen charge Lalo. There are a couple different things that you can do. So you can use a queen charge Lalo and a queen charge mass hog. These are still really, really good ways, and actually you can use that all the way up to Town Hall 13. Very, very simple strategies, and you can actually start using that very early on. Now, another strategy that can work really well starting at Town Hall 10 is queen charge miners. Yep, again, miners are super, super good, and you'll see that from Town Hall 10 up. They are really strong right now with the siege barrack, and really I can't say anything more than that. Still, of course, queen charge hogs and queen charge Lalo are still very, very strong methods. Now, at Town Hall 11, you now have the ability to sort of, use the Grand Warden. So what you can still do is you can still do queen charge hogs, queen charge miners, and also queen charge, and also the queen charge hogs. But you, on top of all that, you can actually do a queen charge, or not queen charge, but miner hog hybrid. That's still a version of a queen charge into miners, but you're also bringing hogs there. You can also do it at Town Hall 10, so I will also put that there as well. So there's a lot of strategies with queen walk or queen charge that you can do. At Town Hall 12 and Town Hall 13, I would say the two strongest right now are going to be things like P.E.K.K.A Smash, Yeti Smash. You can actually use a queen charge in those, or a queen walk if you want. But I am actually going to put on here on the screen, it's actually going to be, still of course it's going to be hybrid, all the other ones, maybe except for Lalo at Town Hall 13, but I think one of the stronger ones is queen walk or queen charge dragons. It is a strategy that I haven't seen too much of, but it's still very viable. So I would say that if you're looking to use a charge at Town Hall 12 and even at Town Hall 13, and you like dragons, then dragons are definitely the way to go. I've even seen one with Dragbat and a queen charge. Kind of interesting. So definitely, that would be something that I would love to make a video on if you guys would like to see it. So So now that you guys know the strategies that work really well with them from the side of the screen, also knowing the things such as the basics of a queen walk and a queen charge, I want to show you guys a couple of strategies that work pretty well. And I just want to make sure that I am breaking them down very briefly for you guys to sort of understand, and let's see what tips and tricks I can give you guys with your queen charge. So the last things that we're going to be going over is just going to be some strategies. We're going to show you guys two different attacks that work really well all across the board from Town Hall 9 all the way up to Town Hall 13. This way you guys can easily find the right strategy to use. And the first one we're starting off with is going to be Miner Hog Hybrid. I've seen a lot of Town Hall 13 in our Supercell Clan War Leagues clan. And of course, unlike anything else, very simple attack strategy. You guys can use this starting at Town Hall 10 and work your way up. Miners are extremely powerful. So we want to just really quickly take a look at a couple things. For one, we're using a jump spell. We are going to be charging our queen into the base. So we want to really make sure that we take our time and sort of understand, exactly, how are we going to funnel our queen in and all that stuff. And also, where are we going to? So you can see that we're just walking our queen. We want to focus on the queen walk and the charge because that's what's really important here. So you'll see that she's going to start stepping up. She's moving towards the town hall, which is always going to be good because you want her to actually charge into this area, which is the main reason why we're using a king. And we also got the wizard, and the wizard's job is going to be controlling the queen's funneling. That way what's going to happen, or the king's funneling. That way what's going to happen is after this, he'll move over to this cannon. He'll move over to that. Then he'll probably move over to the cannon. Yep, you'll see that he's going to step up there. He's going to continue down, and she's going to take the jump spell. She's looking for the enemy CC for the most part, which is going to be a Lava Hound, which is never too difficult, especially when you have a poison. And then also you're looking for the enemy, or for the eagle. That's what you're looking for. And once you've been able to do that, then you're perfectly set. And this is very simple. You can do this all the time. You can do this at Town Hall 10, 11, 12, 13. Of course, there's different things to look for. So like, for instance, the Town Hall. But actually, sometimes what's really funny is you don't even have to go for the Town Hall at Town Hall 12 or even Town Hall 13 because the miners and the hog riders under the Grand Warden can still do work against it. That's really all it is. So it's a very simple way. So this is a really flexible attack. You can hit from absolutely anywhere and still be able to get the triple. I usually like to go for the 2-star at least, so I'm not going for the all-out 3. So like you see right here, a safe 2. But definitely what you're going to be able to still do is get a lot of good value from just setting a funnel here for your hogs and miners, and already setting a funnel over here and also here for your queen to charge in. And that's where you want to get the most amount of value from your charge. So that's really a good way of showing you guys the charge. Of course, the only queen walk we can show you is miners, but you'll see that, like, for instance, let's say we didn't have our queen moving in. Then, yeah, it would have been, very good. We would have had our queen, walk this direction. She would have gotten some good value from there and just walking her way in. So that's a good strategy in order to, queen walk miners. I don't even have to show it. You already know how to use it. I have a lot of videos on it too. So I would say that if you are really looking to use miners at Town Hall, 10, 11, 12, 13, I would say like this is the main strategy. I would say queen charge right now far stronger than queen walk. It is so easy to use a charge now in this meta. But now let's go ahead and move on to another strategy that is really dominating Town Halls 9 through 13. So right here, we've got a queen charge Lalo, and this is a very simple strategy starting at Town Hall 9. You can actually start using this at Town Hall 9. So I really wanted to showcase this one because it is a very strong strategy, and it really doesn't take all too long to sort of understand it. Of course, with a queen charge Lalo, what you really want to do, like you saw there with the wall breakers, I even showed you guys there before, you want to make sure that you're using one test wall breaker just to see if there are any, and I didn't show you guys using a freeze spell. So you saw the freeze. The freeze there in order to freeze up the multi-inferno, just so that then what happens is the wall breakers do not get, shot down by that multi-inferno. Instead, the multi-inferno is frozen. That allows your wall breakers to actually break open into the base. So you'll see that if we take just a zoom out, you'll see that we had a baby dragon clear up this side, and we had the king moving in this direction. So you can actually kind of see that, it's very, very easy on how that pathing works. So now the queen's able to step in. You can probably use another freeze or wait until this is done. That's way you can actually use your the rest of your wall breakers to enter in. Of course, there may or may not be any small bombs where in the base. So sometimes defenders may do that, but definitely it's just going to determine on where those are. But you'll see that as we're starting to step in, we're going to take out the multi-inferno, especially with those healers under there, and then we're going to send in the rest of our wall breakers. They're going to move on to the other side, and you'll see they catch a small bomb. So we're going to use one more, and that one wall breaker is actually going to be enough to open that wall compartment. So remember that a level 8 wall breaker does have enough power in underneath the rage to one-shot a wall. So you'll see as our queen is moving in, we're using our rage spells just to keep her alive. Then we used it against the enemy CC, and now we're using it against the enemy queen, and we've got all the value that we really needed from the base design. It was just getting the queen, and that's really what the queen charge Lalo is all about. This is why it's still a very strong method. Of course, it's very hard to do. However, I still wanted to really break it down right there to make it very easy for you guys to understand it. Really, nothing about that was really too difficult. Don't rush your queen charge. Take your time. Be very patient with how everything goes. So you'll see with the lava loon portion, I don't really need to say too much as, of course, a lava loon is going to be a lava loon, and we do have a lava loon video coming up next week, or not next week, but in a couple days. Definitely, Lalo is such a great way to sort of 3-star different bases. It works on almost every type of base design you could think of. Lalo is just a very open strategy, very flexible, just like miners right now. Very, very simple, very easy to do. You don't even need to go for the town hall like you'll see right here. We didn't need the charge towards the town hall. Typically, what I like to do is go for the safe too, but if you have, like, for instance, a stone slammer that's still up or something like that, then that just gives you guys a little bit of some more openness in terms of finding that right sort of attack in order to use your charge in. But with that being said, guys, that's going to do it for this entire guide. I hope this sort of was a great, definitely a really good guide, going over a lot of different things. Of course, I really want to make sure that this is definitely a really good guide for 2020 and using a queen charge and a queen walk. So please let me know if there's anything that I missed. Please let me know, and I want to try and make sure I make this video again. That way, with all those corrections, I can make this a better guide. Feel free to go ahead and leave a like, subscribe, just to support the channel, and also feel free to turn on the notification bell so you guys don't miss anything. Feel free to go ahead and follow me on Twitter, Instagram, follow me on Twitch, as we're going to be starting streams up there in a couple months from now. And also feel free to go ahead and subscribe there, as well as we have some sub emotes that you guys can also use there as well. Feel free also to go ahead and join any of the clans that I cover in the description below. But with that being said, guys, that's going to do it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll be seeing you guys next time. Corrupt, signing out.